breaking news out of Dallas. Police are investigating a deadly shooting from overnight. Right now, I am live outside of JPS Hospital in Fort Worth, where 3 of those 4 firefighters that were injured in this morning's devastating crash, where they are inside right now. Now, in the last couple of hours, there was actually a large group of firefighters that rushed inside of the hospital, most likely to rally around their fellow first responders. The pilot was the only person on board at the time of the crash, and he died on impact after that plane took a nosedive in this popular strip mall parking lot. As you can see, streets are just covered with white. Now, I'm going to show you, take a look at the ground. It's not enough for a snowball fight here, but definitely enough to make a snow angel if you want to bring those kids outside. If you drive through this, your car could get stuck. I'm talking about inches of water that we are dealing with right now, stretching all the way down the street. While you were sleeping, a lockdown lifted after a gunman opened fire last night. A scary day for teachers and students here at Lamar High after a teen was shot and killed outside of school. School choice has been a hot topic in the 4th special session, which officially comes to an end today. New this morning, 7 Republican presidential candidates faced off Wednesday night at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. This is the biggest abortion-related case we've seen since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade last year. Texas's Simone Biles has done it again. The U.S. women's gymnastics team is now the first group to win 7 straight world titles. Happy Super Bowl weekend. I have been grocery shopping here at the H-E-B in McKinney, and you can see my cart is already packed. I got the cookies, the chips and dip, the frozen pizza. But guys, I have to talk about this Super Bowl staple. Who can forget the chicken wings?
Kennedi, did you get into the group pool?
I did. I was just telling our audio guy, Scott, I was like, I'm so upset that 27 people were able to join this. I mean, that's just, I don't want to divide my money with that many people.
This is CBS News, Texas.
Breaking news as we come on the air, an active police presence at the Parks Mall at Arlington after reports of shots fired. And this is video that you're about to see of inside the Parks Mall at Arlington. You're seeing an empty food court as the mall was being evacuated. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kennedi Walker, and we're still learning more about all of this. But this is what we know so far. Arlington police say that they are investigating a reported shooting, and they say it happened near the ice skating rink on the 1st floor. Police evacuated the mall and did 2 security sweeps. They say this is not an active shooter situation, thank God. But they believe this all started after a fight. 2 people were taken to the hospital. Now, we don't know what condition they are in, but we spoke with one 13-year-old girl who was there hanging out with her friends, and she says she heard a loud bang and quickly ran into the store for safety.
My friends, and we were waiting for our drinks.
Yeah, such a scary situation. Arlington police say that they are still searching for that shooter. And tonight's shooting bringing back the same fear that shoppers felt on May 6th of this year. That's when 8 people were killed by a mass shooter, including 3 young children. The gunman was taken down by an officer on the scene. And like we mentioned, police say tonight's shooting was not an active shooter situation. Now, we will stay on top of this breaking news for you on air and on CBS News Texas.com. You can scan that QR code on your screen to download the free CBS News Texas app. You'll get a push alert to your phone once we learn any new details from police. And a holiday visit with family has ended with 6 people dead in North Texas. Now, friends and family are working to get their bodies back to their home country of India. The youngest victims were an 11-year-old and a brother, an 11-year-old brother and a 9-year-old sister. Today, we spoke with a friend of the family who says the relatives were staying with him in this apartment in Irving. Christmas gifts for the children were still at the home.
Itself, we are playing with them. We had good dinner. We had good Christmas party.
Police say a pickup truck crossed into oncoming traffic, hitting the family head on. The children's father is the only survivor from his family. He's in critical condition, unaware that his family is gone. Now, the teens in the pickup truck, they are also listed in critical condition. Tonight, 3 teens are recovering from being shot. Police are busy tracking down the shooter in West Dallas. They say 3 teens were shot inside of a car at an apartment complex on Bicker Street. That's right by Pinkston High School. A 4th teen was in the same car but was not hurt. That teen told police the shooter walked up to the passenger side of the car and just started firing. The 3 teens that were hurt were taken to the hospital, and they're fortunately expected to be okay. No arrests have been made at this moment. Now, San Antonio Antonio police, they're sharing new video and working leads to find whoever shot and killed a pregnant woman and her boyfriend. 18-year-old Savannah Soto and her boyfriend were found dead in a locked parked car Tuesday night. The car was found in a parking lot at a San Antonio apartment complex. Today, a vigil was held in honor of Soto where her grandmother spoke.
Again, I want to say thank you for everybody that's here.
Both Soto and her boyfriend were shot in the head. Police are trying to figure out a motive. They say both Soto and her boyfriend are victims, and they're investigating their deaths as a murder case. More on the crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border. The Department of Justice is now threatening to sue Texas over Governor Greg Abbott's new border security law. This is called SB 4. The governor signed it earlier this month, and it allows state law enforcement officials to arrest, jail, and charge migrants with a crime. The DOJ says the new law is unconstitutional and will disrupt how the federal government enforces immigration. The law is set to take effect in March. But sooner than that, 30 new laws are taking effect in the new year for Texas. First, with public colleges and universities. Those schools cannot have diversity, equity, and inclusion offices. That means they have to be disbanded and employees reassigned. Another new law will punish companies marketing e-cigarettes to minors. That law ensures a Class B misdemeanor for anyone who markets, advertises, or sells e-cigarettes to children. And as part of the $18 billion property tax relief bill from last year, the franchise tax exemption will double to nearly $2.5 million. That means 67,000 small and medium-sized businesses no longer have to pay the franchise tax. They also will not have to file a franchise tax return. For more details into all the new laws, you can check out this information on our website, cbsnewstexas.com. And changes are coming from the new year here in Fort Worth as well, especially when it comes to garbage and recycling. So on January 1st, for any garbage or recycling materials that do not allow lids to be properly and securely closed, it will be considered overloaded and be $6. Any additional bags set outside or next to the carts are considered loose bags, and this will cost an extra $3 each. Fort Worth says both are considered non-compliant, and residents must be sure to put their materials into their respective bins by 7 a.m. on Collection Day. Coming up, a shocking discovery about an online game that your young kids might play. Apparently, scammers are paying attention as well. Tonight, the I-Team shows parents the troubles that can be lurking online. And taking a live look outside of downtown Fort Worth, get ready to bundle up. A chilly morning sets the stage for a weekend warm-up, but a surprise cold front will quickly move in. Chief Meteorologist Scott Padgett has your first alert forecast coming up. They were supposed to be routine surgeries, but a series of medical emergencies in 2022 forced the Baylor Scott & White Surgicare Center in North Dallas to suddenly close its doors. Over the course of that summer, 10 patients were rushed to nearby emergency rooms after problems during their procedures. All of the patients survived, but a doctor who worked at the center did not.
The most agonizing thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
John Casper watched his wife of 30 years suffer a heart attack at home in June of that year. Dr. Melanie Casper had taken an IV bag home from work to rehydrate after being sick.
I grappled with the fact that she had had a heart attack because she was a very healthy woman, could sit on her bicycle trainer for hours and not have any issues.
Investigators say they linked the tainted IV bags to an anesthesiologist who worked at the center, Reynaldo Ortiz. Dr. Ortiz was already under investigation by the facility for a problem in one of his surgeries. Investigators say Ortiz was angry over the potential loss of his job, which would have been, quote, financially devastating. Ortiz allegedly told a fellow doctor he felt he was being crucified. The mysterious cardiac emergencies started a few days later.
Whether it's revenge or if he's trying to cover up his own inabilities, it's hard to even comprehend that somebody can do things like this.
Surveillance videos show Dr. Ortiz putting single IV bags into warmers on multiple occasions. Medical workers told investigators that was a job typically handled by nurses, not doctors, and not one bag at a time. Prosecutors say those instances coincided with the patient emergencies, but none of them happened during Ortiz's own surgeries. Now, Ortiz has denied all of these allegations. His attorneys say that this evidence is made up of suspicious coincidences. Jury selection does begin today, and we'll have live updates right here on CBS News Texas and online. Reporting live in Dallas, Kennedi Walker, back to you. Be surprised to learn that baking a cake isn't as simple as it seems.
1 cup of water.
In fact, these women are learning to do it for the first time.
Mix. Do it for about a minute.
They're all refugees from Burma, a country in Southeast Asia, and they just recently moved to North Texas.
It's a big difference from Asia to the West.
Mary Moyi is one of the refugees trying to navigate a new country and learn a new culture. That includes something as basic as making a birthday cake.
As a lady, I think all this cake is a part of our life, like kids' celebrations, a lot of parties that we go, they provide cakes as well, including the school. So it's going to be exciting to be able to make them.
Through the help of these free cooking classes, they're learning some of our country's most popular recipes and how to use Western appliances. The experience even incorporates how to sing Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
It's part of a new program made possible by a community health center in Dallas, a nonprofit known as HHM Health.
They were talking about how they're fearful of using their oven. They're fearful of using those American Western appliances. They're actually using them for storage.
Adrian Logan says the goal for these refugees is to find that baking a cake is as simple as, well, baking a cake. And after a few more courses, learning how to make different courses, they'll be able to prepare an entire meal.
Being able to cook at home means that their whole family can have a better nutritional food, meals. Everyone in the whole family can have a better health overall.
The number of refugees relocating to Texas grows every day, and each family has its own unique challenges.
It's not easy, but one step at a time.
That philosophy is the key ingredient to making a successful transition.